What's the word, everybody? This is your HBCU news correspondent, Joshua Wright, here today with your King's Minute News. Today, I'll be talking to a very special guest. This guest is a Tuskegee University alum who has made major history all the way in Honolulu, Hawaii. So stay tuned right here for more on your King's Minute, brought to you by Historically Black Sense. So today, my guest is Mr. Cameron Hunt. He's a political scientist who graduated from Tuskegee University. He currently resides in Honolulu, Hawaii, and serves on a city commission community board, and he's a current program manager for Common Cause in Hawaii. He's a former educator and civil rights advocate. Cameron is on a self-described mission to ensure that the Constitution of the United States is upheld for minorities as much as the majority. So, with a specialty in international conflict and subject matter expert in supported decision-making, Mr. Cameron Hunt made major history in Honolulu, Hawaii, as he is the first Black grants and aid commissioner of Honolulu, Hawaii. So please give a warm welcome to Mr. Cameron Hunt. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. Just to be clear really quick, my last name is Hurt, like you're injured. So
Okay. Sorry about that.
No,
Everybody, it's Cameron Hurt. Sorry about that again. So let's just talk a little bit today, just about your success, your experience, and just, everything you've been through so far as this journey. So how does it feel, just starting off, how does it feel to make major history with this new milestone?
It's pretty wild. I don't see it as major history, honestly, which I guess is irony in and of itself. I am flabbergasted by the weight that it means, but it also shows how much all of us could be more involved in our local government, and that's really it, right? Like, as somebody serving on the Grants and Aid Commission for the City and County Honolulu, I'm really at the base level of local government. So while it's, I guess, miraculous when you say the first Black person to serve at this capacity for the city and county, I would hope that it would be more encouraging for other African-American males and females who look like me to go out and see what they can do in their local government as well.
Right. So what was the journey like getting to this position where you are now? And, what are some of the things that you had to break through, some of the barriers you had to break through to get here, and just what are some of the experiences it took to get to where you are now?
I think for me, getting to this point where I'm at in my career, and I'm not done yet. It's not over yet. Wait till you see what else I got coming. But for me, I think it was really important to the same type of hustle, the same type of grind that we hear when we think about athletes, when we think about rappers, when we think about entertainers. I had to bring that exact same type of hustle to the political science realm. So there are days that I don't really get, more than 2 hours of sleep. There were days where I wasn't eating because I needed to do this. I needed to write this paper. I needed to be in front of these people. I need to be pushing this initiative in my community. So really that work ethic, that this isn't a 9-to-5 situation, especially if you are a person of color, right? You've got to be twice as good to get half of what they got. So having that grit to keep going and to never stop, right? I had no inroads into this political world. I had to make my inroads. It wasn't about ever do I have this person's influence or do I have their name? No, I had to make people come to respect my name, which means doing the work, which also means doing the work that isn't sexy. I've got no shame in my game. I have been baroque, okay? Baroque, no money. But never once did I think that it couldn't happen for me. I'm a political scientist. I'm also a advocate and a politician by trade and occupation. However, there was a time when I was a school teacher. There was a time when I was a half-time school teacher. There were times where I was raising me and my son on with government assistance, having food stamps. But I never let anything stop me from being able to be as successful as I thought that I could be. And I kept working. Every year was a reinvention year. Every year was a reinvention year. I wasn't somebody who believed I had to stay put and loyal to opportunities, people's, entities, and organizations that were not those things to me. I believed in myself and I bet on myself.
That's amazing to hear. So, as a Tuskegee University alum, how important do you think education is to the Black community, and how much did it play a role into your success?
First of all, TU, you know, all right, all day. I'm a very, very, very proud graduate of Tuskegee University. Would not have it any other way. It couldn't be any other way. I could only be as successful as I have been up until this point because of Tuskegee University. How much does education play a role? Education plays the biggest role. Let's even discuss how did I end up in Hawaii. I had my mother actually tell me, Cam, you can go anywhere you want in this world if you use your education. And she said that to me when I was maybe 12, and that stuck with me. So eventually I knew I wanted to go to Hawaii and I would use my education to do it. And I did. Once I completed my degree at Tuskegee, I was able to get a full ride scholarship to go to HPU, Hawaii Pacific University in Hawaii. That's what led me to Honolulu and gave me the opportunity to even be able to ascend to this position. For those who, whether you go to Tuskegee or not, if you are a Black person, get your education. There's no other way around it. It is one of our best equalizers for opportunities. I don't care what YouTube says. I don't care what Elon Musk says. I do not care. We have to be educated, because once you have your education, it's something that can never be taken away from you, no matter what.
I definitely agree with that statement. I always try to inspire people to just continue to really grow and further their education. Don't stop, and to use each experience as a learning moment. So I know you were a part of campus life at Tuskegee as a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. So how did being a Sigma man really play into your life and incorporate, just some of the walks of being successful and being able to withstand some of the hurdles and hardships of life?
I think I could give a really poetic pageant answer to that. But let's really answer that. Like, let's really look at how campus life, and specifically my affiliation with Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated or other organizations like it, can impact and help someone, or what does it bring about. As a Sigma, I was able to be put into leadership opportunities to prepare myself for the roles that I am in now. I was also able to, as a Sigma, be put in some extremely tense situations, whether it be within my own organization or whether it be being a representative of my own organization as we go and meet with other organizations. And I think there's a lot of diplomacy that goes on in a lot of D9 council meetings, regardless of what school you're at. There's a lot of politics that goes into it, that I didn't know that I was acquiring then. What I also learned, though, is there is a certain level of community service that all D9 organizations have, not just Sigma, but that all D9 organizations have, that are unique to our organizations. And that level of service, right? Like understanding, like becoming a Sigma, and one of the first things understanding that it's culture for service and service for humanity. That's inbred in me. And I think you see me taking my culture and using it for service and my service to humanity in the positions that I uphold now. Now that's what it looks like for me as a Sigma. You may have somebody such as, let's say, Steve Harvey, who is an Omega, who really exemplifies what it means to be a black male and a friend to your other black male friends. You can only think that some of that has to do with some of that Omega influence and what brotherhood means to the essential core makeup of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. You see somebody like Colin Kaepernick, right, who is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. You think about how honorable achievement in every field of human endeavor led him to take that knee. So we are, as members of these organizations, standing on the principles of our organizations that have been going on for most of us now for over 100 years. And it's a beautiful legacy to be a part of and to share it.
So what were some of the lessons you learned while attending Tuskegee University?
Consistency and persistence. Consistent persistence will lead to success. You are going to get knocked down. That internet is going to go out on you while you're writing that paper that is due in an hour that you waited to do, okay? You're going to get to the calf, and it's going to run out of fried chicken on Wednesday, and you just knew you was going to be able to get that fried chicken. You are going to get a professor who isn't going to hear anything that you have to say. You are going to get the building that is going to run out of AC or run out. The AC is going to stop working, and you got to figure out a way in hell heat Alabama how you still going to get this done. You know, we oftentimes, especially within the HBCU community, we talk about our lack of resources or the condition that some of our resources are in. But one thing that we all have when we have that degree is we've learned how to overcome those resources. And really what I found is that the society of America is really a microcosm of HBCU resources. As Black and brown people, we really, really, really have to figure out ways to redo things the way that we're told we can do them, because it won't work for us that way. At my institution, at Tuskegee University, I had to become clever and become an alternative learner and figure out alternative ways to learn and get the task done. There is no excuse for not completing the task. No excuse. No excuse. We all know, if you go to HBC, you hear the word excuses and you cringe up. But you really understand why that is, you know, once you leave and you look back on the reflections of the lessons from before.
Yes. So just to add on to that, something I heard you saying, how important is it for us, people of color, to continue to attend our institutions that were created for us?
Let me answer that in two parts. One, as people of color, it is advantageous that we attend institutions that reflect us. It is advantageous that we uplift these institutions of higher learning, and that we know what they are, right? And I'm answering that first as a people of color, because there are Jewish institutions. There are, well, you know, if you consider Jewish people of color, acknowledging that, there are historically Latino institutions. There are even, I believe there's a Native American institution. As people of color, I want to see all people of color know about these silos of education that exists in your communities and that are out there. And I want other people, like if I have a Latino friend, I want to be able to say like, hey, there's a school in Arizona where there are more people who look like you that's going to really kind of, I think, maybe help what you're looking for. Just like I would want a Jewish friend in upstate New York to be like, hey, tell their Black friend, have you heard about, you know, Lane College? Have you heard about Texas Southern? You know, these are things that we have to know. Now, as Black people, and this is me speaking to you not just as a Black person, but also as a politician, the time has never been more critical. If we do not uplift our universities, they will erase them.
Very true.
They will erase them. I'm not speaking hypothetically. I'm telling you there's policy that has been laid as recently as the past 2 years that has given the framework to remove HBCUs, especially in southern states. Florida right now, people do not understand because they're like, well, how does this really affect me? Because Florida just repealed giving money for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Well, this doesn't really affect me. No, because technically now Ron DeSantis can make every HBCU fall under diversity, equity, and inclusion and defund the entire HBCU. It's happening. And we've got to be active. And I need for the HBCU campuses to get active. I need some coordinated efforts. I need some march on legislatures. I need some push for legislators. I need them telling us alumni, where do we need to call? You know, even if I didn't, if I don't live in your state, if I didn't graduate from your state, FAMU, Bethune-Cookman, tell me who you want me to call, and I'm on that phone. You know, we've got to be there for each other, and we've got to fight like hell, because they will take it. They will take it.
We definitely have to support each other. So for those who don't know, tell us, what does your new role consist of? What are some of the duties and responsibilities look like?
So I currently sit on the Grants and Aid Commission for the City and County of Honolulu, Hawaii. What that looks like is me with 6 other commissioners. We sit and we evaluate applicants who are looking to receive funds from the city and county. And they have to, this is the capital city and the largest county in the state. This county governs the whole island and a few other islands that aren't, a few other islands too as well. So we evaluate all applicants who are seeking to get monies from the city or the county, be it for a multitude of purposes. It could be educational, it could be developmental, whatever that looks like. They have to come through us in order to get that approval.
Okay. So I know you said earlier that you are not done. So what is life in Hawaii? What has that been like? And what are some of your future plans and new projects you have coming up?
Life in Hawaii has been an absolute dreamscape. I graduated from Tuskegee University in Tuskegee, Alabama, so I was in a Black majority. I immediately came over here where I got to be in a Pacific Islander Asian majority. That's been really interesting because I have yet really to live a significant amount of time since high school, really, in a white American majority place. So that's kind of significant there. But it's a place where I can see blue lights and I don't get nervous. It's the place where I have a son who is white passing Puerto Rican who can walk next to me and nobody think anything of it. It is a place to where my skin color isn't something that off-puts Pacific Islanders, whether it's something that they view as welcoming. And from which you get in that, you get into also just like the themes of Hawaii, of ohana, of aloha, and what really is aloha. Aloha isn't just hi, it's an actual spirit. Aloha means love too as well. So those are really purveying principles. You know, this is a very community-based state. I know my neighbors know me. When I was a teacher, my students, their families, they all know you and are part of your life as well. So it's very community-based. It is such a place where I feel like I can exist in my full Blackness in America, and I don't have to be afraid.
Yeah. So, as Black people, how important do you view it for Black people to travel to other places, you know, that may be, you know, that we may not know about as far as culture, such as Hawaii, things of that nature, to really explore new cultures and really see how we will be treated in a new environment? How important do you see that?
I think it's exceptionally important for so many reasons, right? Like, let's start just here in America. You know, you have Hawaii, which was its own country that has its own native population, its own people, own distinct culture. For sure, come see, come visit, come get to learn that. We also have a trove of Native American population in the southern United States, in the West, different reservations, what have you. As African Americans, I believe that it is imperative of us to learn how we can better work with the Native American community and also just support them in their cause. So make sure that we're touring and visiting their societies, their cities, their communities, and giving them knowledge. Now, international travel is huge. I am an expert in international conflict. And one thing that African Americans and when I'm speaking with African Americans, one of the things that we'll always touch on is, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just leave? And I always tell them, for the unique makeup of my family, this is the best I'm ever going to do. And I think that is shocking to some, because they're like, wait, I can't go here and live like this, but America, I go through this, and America, I go through that. Yes, but you have to be able to put that in context to what the rest of the world is also dealing with and what things in life you would give up for certain things as well. One thing that I always say is I'm always interested in minority populations, period. Because there are very few countries on this earth where you can point to the minority population and say that they're not disenfranchised. And that's an interesting story to tell, too. I think African Americans should travel as much as they are able to. But be smart. Not nothing against Dubai, but we've seen it. Or you really, what are you going for? You're going for very extreme luxury. It's a luxury trip. Go to Africa. Go to the Caribbean. Go to the West Indies. Go to the South Pacific. Micronesia, Melanesia. There's literally a part of the Pacific called Melanesia. Melanin. These are Pacific Islanders who have skin as dark or darker than us. Diversify. Instead of I'm going to go vacation in Dubai, I'm going to go vacation in Tonga. I'm going to go vacation in Fiji. Instead of I'm going to go vacation in Paris, I'll pause. I'm going to go vacation in the Philippines. I'm going to go vacation in Gambia. I'm going to go vacation in Ghana. These are all places where you can go instead of these high-end, flashy places that get you for tourism when there's more than just the luxury that comes with tourism.
I love it. So, what are some of your new projects and future plans you have in place?
Oh, man. New future plans. I am currently taking over as program manager of Common Cause Hawaii, which is a democracy watchdog group affecting legislation. I will be fighting and pushing for clean and fair elections, viewing, through the lens of a bill that would bring campaign financing or would limit campaign financing to the state of Hawaii, thus keeping big money and special interest groups out of the elections and candidacy pool. And it really, what it does is it sets up an aggregate amount of money that each candidate can use to run, and no more than that. State given, and you're taking out special interests, you're taking out big donors and groups. Hawaii was overthrown by American businessmen. My next phase, and to be honest, American businessmen have not taken their foot off Hawaii's neck since. My next step will be to take on the American business establishment for the better of the local Hawaii population and also local Hawaiians.
Hey, well, you all, this is Mr. Cameron Hurt. He's doing amazing things. A Tuskegee alum, member of Phi Beta Sigma. He is now the new Grants and Aid Commissioner of Honolulu, Hawaii. Congratulations to you, brother.
Thank you.
Continue to do great things. Continue to represent HBCU excellence and Black excellence in general. Just continue to be a great person because we need people like you to continue the road, continue the path. Because a lot of people think it has stopped, and it has not stopped. We are still doing great things as a people. So just congratulations and kudos to you, brother. And we just hope you get your flowers while you are here with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. This was a great conversation. I am your HBCU news correspondent, Joshua Wright, here live and on the King's Minute. And this was your King's Minute news right here on Historically Black Sense. Have a great day, people.
Assalamu alaikum.